The thing that I always talk about is your identity resolution strategy. So I think from a high level, it's, talking about what entities are you really moving around? What are the core entities in sales and marketing? A lot of the time it's accounts and users. And how do you identify those accounts and users between systems? That's really sort of the heart of duplication in many cases, I would argue, where, in one system, your email marketing system, it's email for sure. In another system, it may just be first name, last name, maybe a LinkedIn handle. Maybe you've got some automated lead gen that's going out and grabbing LinkedIn handles from LinkedIn. So I think what I'll talk a little bit about here is, say for a user, for example, email is a pretty good one. The edge cases there are always, well, what if a person switches jobs? Well, what if they get a new email? And those are hard cases. When you think about identity resolution and specifically for users, I would look, this is one of those opportunities to say, maybe I don't need to solve the problem where they're switching jobs, or maybe they have a slightly different email. And there are strategies for doing that, no doubt. But maybe in this project, we'll keep the scope around email. And so I think in many projects that I've rolled out for customers, if the data is fairly messy, we start by unifying everything around email. Let's just make sure email is unique. We don't have to make sure everything is unique. Let's at least make sure that email is. And then you could start to do some marketing campaigns with that and make sure that you're not duplicating between systems. Then as you kind of move on to your next project, maybe you can bring in more advanced logic. Certain companies can really make use of what we call an external ID or a universal ID. These are the types of companies where the top of their funnel, sort of a freemium model where they're bringing in leads into their free trial. And then from those free trials, you're trying to convert into, a paid subscription. The way that external ID works is when a person signs up for your system, they create an account with you and they are assigned an ID in your system. And that ID is great for tracking them, all the way down the funnel. If they do go in and change their email on their profile, you still have that ID that's the same throughout the entire process. And then you can propagate those email changes if you want. So anytime you do kind of have a top of the funnel that has sort of a free trial and you can use that external ID, that's a pretty powerful concept. So where it gets a little bit more hairy is when you have some use case where you need to be able to have a little bit of fuzzy logic around your email and you don't have an external ID. So maybe you need multiple natural keys. I think those are the ones that are the toughest.